Good morning, Little Lane. Happy Sunday to you guys. How y'all woke up feeling? Just a question. I woke up feeling good this morning. I woke up early, right? And whenever I wake up early, I just say to myself, okay, I'm up early. So that means today gonna be a super duper duper good day. And if I'm up early, I'm going to come start my day with you guys. Hey Tracy, what's up, Lisa J. Monet? Good morning, Daniel. Good morning, Still Shady 405. Good morning, Sassy. Y'all hit the like. But yeah, if I wake up early and I'm feeling good, well, if I wake up early, I'm going to make it my business to feel good. Because there's no other reason to be up early in the morning, right? And a lot of y'all start y'all mornings even way before now. I was like, first thing I thought about it, I ain't gonna even lie. I say, now here I am up early and ain't nobody live. But that's because it was a little space for me to sneak in there, right? So I wanted to come and have my first cup of coffee with you guys and read the daily affirmation. And it's so strange, I say this all the time when I do the affirmation. I always say it's so strange how when I read the affirmation, it's like it's right around what I got going on in my life. I say it all the time, right? What's up, Jay Parrish? I read the daily affirmations from Acts of Faith. It's the daily meditation for people of color by Iyanla Vanzant. And we're going to get started, right? So I pinned the affirmation in the comments. It says, the affirmation today: when I see my children, I see myself. September 22nd. Some kids do what you say. Some kids do what you say do not do. But all kids do what you do. That's a quote by an unknown person. And so it says, a 13-year-old was sent to the cleaners. She was told to go straight there. She did. But she did not come straight home. On the trip home from the cleaners, she became involved in an egg fight. More than a half dozen eggs ended up on a $300 suit. She took the suit home, rolled it up, put it in a plastic bag, and hid it in the closet. 3 days later, when she was asked about the suit, she started to cry and produced the bag with the festering suit from the closet. The child is still alive with all her limbs intact. The parent took a deep breath and reminded herself, there are times when I do not follow instructions. I do not always admit my mistakes, and I try to cover them up. When I am put on the spot, I cry. Good morning, foot soldier. Whenever I am confronted with something I've done wrong, I usually don't lie. If we really want to understand why our children behave the way they do, we must take a long, hard, honest look at ourselves. Good morning, Allison Jackson. Good morning. Thank you for hitting the like. That's real interesting, right? I love how she gave a little story. I didn't know where she was going with the story, but that's cute. Let me read it again for you guys. Today's affirmation: when I see my children, I see myself. The quote for the day is, some kids do what you say. Some kids do what you say do not do. But all kids do what you do. And the story says, the little parable here says, a 13-year-old was sent to the cleaners. She was told to go straight there. She did. Good morning, Lady Steph. Good morning, Allison. On the trip home from the cleaners, she became involved in an egg fight. More than a half a dozen eggs ended up on a $300 suit. She took the suit home, rolled it up, put it in a plastic bag, and hid it in the closet. 3 days later, when she was asked about the suit, She started to cry and produced the bag with the festering suit from the closet. The child is still alive with all her limbs intact. The parent took a deep breath and reminded herself, there are times when I do not follow Tracy, Tracy, Tracy. Oh my gosh. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Tracy, you is not gonna mess up my affirmation voice, okay? Oh Lord Jesus, hold on. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. This is okay. The parent took a deep breath and reminded herself, there are times when I do not follow instructions. I do not always admit my mistakes, and I try to cover them up. When I am put on the spot, I cry. Good morning, Miss Queenie. Whenever I'm confronted with something I've done wrong, I usually don't lie. Good morning, Jaya. If we really want to understand why our children behave the way they do, we must take a long, hard, honest look at ourselves. Today's affirmation, when I see my children, I see myself. And you know what's so weird, right, y'all? Let me tell y'all. You know, it's like for my lit landers and pit crew that really pay attention to me, I mean, really pay attention to me and keep up with what I'm talking about and keep up with what I said. Y'all very mindful, right, and astute. Y'all know that I've said several times, like during the week, good morning, Bella. I mentioned this last week. I'm sorry about that, foot soldier. But I mentioned a couple of times this week that I had to go take care of some stuff. Like I mentioned one day, oh, that's my kid's school calling. And then another day I said, well, you know, I have to be out pretty much most of the day. I got some things to take care of with my kids at the school. Then I had a lot of different stuff going on this week, right? This past week that we just ending. And then tomorrow I have things to do tomorrow afternoon with my boys' school, right? My high schoolers, my teenagers. And I really, a lot of times I come in and talk about different things and different experiences because that's all I have in this life is my experiences, right? And a lot of times I like to talk about things. And it's so strange because I didn't find myself just being very open about it. I wasn't hiding it, but I wasn't being very open about the experience because, you know, for one, you know, my tooth had fell out, you know, and then for two, I was like, but dang, you know, it's so funny how right when I'm looking at somebody else's situation, here I go with my situation. But life always gonna keep going, and you never know what life gonna throw at you, right? And so I say that about this affirmation. It's so true. You know, I have to take a good long hard. What the affirmation says: when I see my children, I see myself, and that's so true. I see myself in my children, right? And sometimes it's the great things, sometimes it's not so great things. But a lot of time, I guess because I'm also a parent that's not in the home, my children are away from my home, you know, I think because of that situation, it gives me the even, you know, I'm even more so able, how do I put it? I'm more so able to really look at a situation, look at my kids, and I think it puts me in a position where I'm able to talk to them more and discipline them more and encourage them more, advise them more from a different perspective than what I would do if my children were in home with me. If my children was in home with me when I had my kids with me, when they did things, I was easier to get frustrated. I was easier to get like kind of aggravated, right? Because with all the hustle and bustle of life, and then just dealing with situations, and then because they're in the house, you constantly repeating things, repeating games. I did raise my kids for a long time, okay? So I do have experience raising my children. But the reality is, what's up, Aisha? Good morning. The reality is they not in my home right now. And so when things happen with them, good, bad, indifferent, I'm able to look at the situation, come into the situation, and really be able to, I try my best to look at it and try to understand my children. I try to understand my kids. I try to find out, what was your thought process? What have you learned for this? What do you feel? Like, literally, I literally asked my son this week, how do you feel right now? Because I want to know. I want to know how you feel. What was your thought process? What do you think the consequences going to be? Right? What do you think the consequences should be? Right? So it's like, it is so funny because I can also, at the same time, I remember when I was 15. I remember when I was 15. I remember being in the 10th grade. I remember, you know, I remember when I was a freshman in high school, I got in so much trouble. I had never got in trouble at all in school. Never got in trouble, right? But ninth grade, I don't know what the heck got into me. But my ninth grade year, I got in trouble all the time. I got into fights. I got suspended a couple of times. It's just like ninth grade, I don't know. It was just weird. But then come 10th grade and stuff, I calmed back down. My kids are just reflections of myself, right? In the good ways and the bad ways. Do I forget when I was a teenager? Am I so dead set on being right all the time that I can't listen to my kids? Like, I can listen to my kids. What you was thinking? Do you see what that got you into? Do you see now what you're facing? Do you see now, you at this moment in time, do you understand that you are the captain of you determine your route, right? Jay say, girl, dealing with a 16-year-old myself, and I remember it like it was yesterday. Exactly. So I try to have understanding, right? I try to have a lot of understanding, a lot of patience, but at the same time, I ain't gonna lie. Now mind you, I know this is gonna sound so weird because my kid's not in the house, but I am my children's disciplinarian, okay? Trust and believe, calling a mama is like calling the boogeyman, okay? I'ma call your mama. Wait till your mama, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's so funny because, like, y'all will never understand, right? Either you're going to understand because you've been in a situation, or you'll never understand, which is fine, right? I hope nobody ever have to understand my situation. But it's so funny because it's like, I'm literally the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am the boogeyman. The threat is, all right, you keep cutting up, you're going to go live over there with your mama. Okay, which is so funny. Like, I literally threaten my kids. I'm like, I know this sounds so weird to y'all, right? But if you either get it or you don't get it, right? And so, it's just funny because I wasn't gonna say anything about any of that because, basically because I was just sitting here dragging Reed last week, quite honestly. And it seems like man, I'm telling y'all, let me tell y'all, since God is working in my spirit, right? Let me tell y'all, I had the little time with Reed and everything, and I told y'all that some told me when my tooth fell out that I'm supposed to leave that girl alone, right? And I don't bother her a whole lot. Then the situation came up last week, and I acted outside myself and just went with the just doing the Lord thing. You know what I'm saying? The worst thing to do just because I wanted to. I didn't have to do that, right? And so I felt not regretful, but I felt a little remorseful, and like I can do better than that, right? And I told y'all that. And so just that, like the next week, this week here, Monday come up, and boom, you know what I'm saying? I hear the school calling me, and here go my boys. Then got into a kerfuffle. What's up, sweet Polly? Right? And here I am telling somebody else you need to go check on your kids, and here I am gotta go check on my kids. Here I am gotta go to the school. Here I am gotta go do all this and do all this and do all this. I told my auntie and them, my village, I sat there and I looked at them. I say, y'all would never believe the irony of all of this. And I told them about Reed. I told them how I feel like my tooth fell out because I called her mush mouth for years, right? And then I sat there, I say, I just did this thing that I did not have to do, but I did it. And here I am today getting called about not one boy, but both boys. I say, ain't that something? I say, I don't know what it is about this girl, but I really feel like the Lord want me to leave this girl alone. Maybe I can handle what she dishing out to me, but obviously there's something going on where maybe she can't handle what I'm dishing out to her. Because it's real funny when I say something about somebody else, here it coming back to me. Now my son ain't in no pad to sell nowhere, but here I am having to talk to my children, my boys, about decisions, choices, and shit like that can end them up in a cell. You follow? Hey, Egyptian goddess 1111. Hey, sweet Polly, I don't believe that nothing in my life happened by mistake. Period. Everything already pre-planned, predestined, everything. When I came and sat at this desk today, I didn't know what this reading was going to be, but guess what? I was woke up early this morning, told to come over here to this computer, told to do this affirmation on this day. And boom, look what it was. Right? You know, when you look at your children, you see yourself. I see myself in my kids. I see the mistakes. I see how you can make the mistakes. I can see how, I remember. I'm very in tune, right, with my former younger self. And I can remember when I wanted somebody to listen to me and understand. That don't mean being soft. That don't mean being a pushover. But at least let them let them talk, because I always wanted to be heard. Hey, Liz. I used to sneak and do stuff. I used to make bad decisions at times. What make me think that what I produce, what I create, not going to have my essence? What make me think if I wasn't always the perfect child, I'm going to have perfect children? Okay, Jad, thank you. It's not going to happen. But it's how I choose to deal with my kids in their imperfections, in their mistakes. That's what I really try to do. I ain't gonna lie. That's where I really try to do. Go one step further and do one thing a little bit better than what was done with me, right? I try to have understanding. I try to have open communication with my children. Right? I let them speak. I let them explain. I let them make mistakes. And never do I give up on them. You know what I'm saying? So this is real good, This is a real good affirmation. It's right where I'm at. It's right where I needed to hear. It's right what I needed to read. It's right what I needed to talk to you guys about and share about. Just enough, to let y'all in on a little bit of my real life here, I gotta go tomorrow. I gotta get up early. Well, not really get up early, but I gotta go to another meeting tomorrow at the school. You know, the thing that's funny is that when I had my boys, and I had them exactly like the 3 years apart, I did that with the hopes that and with the thought that I wanted them to be in school together, right? And I wanted one day for them to be some cute little boy teenagers, and the girls be like, "You seen that? You seen that Trahan brother? He's so cute." And they say, "Which one?" "Both them Trahan boys." I definitely wanted to have them Trahan boys, right? Let me tell y'all something. I got an email. I got an email from the school, and guess what it said regarding the Trahan brothers? I damn near died. Do you hear me? I damn near died. I thought that shit was so ironic and so funny, not funny, right? Funny yet not funny. That is my boys, some Trahan boys, right? And the very first time I literally see what I always kind of thought about when they be teenagers and be in school together. You know how the brothers be at school together, so it be the foot soldier boys. You know what I'm saying? The Monet boys. I got the Trahan boys. And the first time I see them referenced as that, it's on this doggone email I get in the subject line. The Trahan brothers. I'm like, oh my God, right? So anywho, y'all, everything gonna be okay. It ain't nothing that my boys gone through that ain't no other boys that went through. It ain't nothing we can't handle, right? And it's absolutely not anything that I can't understand, I can't relate to. That don't mean it's okay. That don't mean I expect the behavior to continue. But what I can understand is that my children are me. I wasn't perfect. I'm still not perfect, and neither will they be, right? But I'm going to sure do my best to guide them along the way and have some understanding. September 22nd. Some kids do what you say. Some kids do what you say do not do. But all kids do what you do. A 13-year-old was sent to the cleaners. She was told to go straight there. She did. But she did not come straight home. On the trip home from the cleaners, she became involved in an egg fight. More than half a dozen eggs ended up on a $300 suit. She took the suit home, rolled it up, put it in a plastic bag, and hid it in the closet. 3 days later, when she was asked about the suit, she started to cry and produced the bag with the festering suit from the closet. The child is still alive with all her limbs intact. The parent took a deep breath and reminded herself, there are times when I do not follow instructions. I do not always admit my mistakes and try to cover them up. When I am put on the spot, I cry. Whenever I am confronted with something I've done wrong, I usually don't lie. If we really want to understand why our children behave the way they do, we must take a long, hard, honest look at ourselves. Today's affirmation, when I see my children, I see myself. So that's the affirmation for today, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that, got whatever you needed from it, and took it with you, take it away with you throughout the day. I definitely did. I will be back this Sunday afternoon. I'm thinking around 2. For some reason, that time is like in my mind. Around 2 Central Standard Time, between 2 and 3 Central Standard Time. I'll be back today with that Saturday show. That's my new content. It's called that. No, not Saturday. That Sunday show, right? Where it's different little funny here and there topics and stuff that I'm interested in. A little medley of things, okay? So make sure you tune in for that. Thank y'all for tuning in to this one. On the way out, please hit the like button, okay? And tell a friend, tell a friend. Y'all have a great day. I'll see y'all this afternoon. Bye, y'all.